it's Amber from Amber Eats Books and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to bring you yet another book haul. I know, I have a problem. I can't seem to stop buying books. I don't know if it's because, I just started BookTube and I feel like I need to have all these books on my shelves, or if it's because I'm just a shopaholic. I just need to buy things, buy everything. But I went into these thrift stores this past week just looking for a specific couple of books, thinking, oh, if they have them, great. If not, no big deal. I don't need anything else. And of course, I walked out of both of them with like an arm load of books that I probably did not need, but now own, and I'm very excited that I own. So let's not talk anymore. Let's get into these books. So this week, because this might be a weekly book haul type thing, I am not sure. We will see where my finances are later in the month. But this week I have left all of the price tags on, so that way I can show you what sort of deals I have gotten. These first sets of books are ones that I bought that are just replacing other editions that I had on my shelves. So let's start with my favorites, the Stephen Kings. So I have this edition of Misery. This is a mass market paperback. It has never been read, never even cracked the spine. I have read Misery, but it was many years ago, someone else's copy. This was my own copy, and it says special price of $4.99. But I hate mass market size, as you guys well know. So when I was at the thrift store, I found the larger paperback, the trade paperback size of Misery. So I'm not completely in love with the cover, as I was not completely in love with this cover anyway, but it will be so much nicer to read this bigger copy. I'm planning on reading this over again sometime soon. I might start a series where I reread all of Stephen King's books, but I don't know when that will be, but when I do, I will have this perfect sized copy in order to read. And I think I got this book for $1.99. The next Stephen King book that I am replacing is Nightmares and Dreamscapes. So again, mass market paperback size. This book is almost 900 pages. So who wants to read it in this tiny little print? Not me. So I was delighted to find at the same store that I found Misery, the hardcover edition. This just looks so much better on my shelf. It is still heavy. It is still quite large, and it's just a chunker of a book that I know I'm going to have problems with. This one is closer to 800 pages. But just having this size makes me feel so much better for when I do my rereads. I like this cover. Maybe not my favorite, but I really enjoy it. I think I like it definitely more than this cover. So out with this one, in with this one. My next two replacement books I was actually really excited for. So I own this copy of Little Women, which it is a larger paperback. I would absolutely enjoy reading this over again, but the cover itself I was not a huge fan of. However, when I was at the store, at my local thrift store at Goodwill, I got this book for $1 because this week's color was blue, and that means blue is half price, so I only paid $1, and this is an illustrated edition of Little Women. It looks gorgeous. See those end papers? Absolutely love it. There's not a ton of illustrations in here, but there are a few, and it just will look really wonderful next to all of my other classics that I've been trying to collect lately. And then keeping in that theme with replacing classics, I owned this copy of A Christmas Carol. It is a very small, very tiny copy. I highlighted a quote in here. I did not even know. Anyway, I read this last year at Christmas time, really loved it, but I did not love this little tiny size. So when I was at the thrift store, I found for $2 this beautiful, there's a price sticker, $2, this beautiful edition of A Christmas Carol. It is just going to look fantastic on my shelf. and this is an illustrated version. I am like in love with these illustrated versions of classics lately, and I just keep finding them at my local Goodwill. It is amazing, the things that people are getting rid of. This book looks, besides a little tiny damage right here on the dust jacket, it is basically brand new for $2. Who could go wrong? I mean, this was originally a $20 book. So excited to read this. I'm probably gonna reread this in December. Just the perfect month, obviously, to do that. So can't wait. The next group of books that I'm going to show you are some classics that I found. I have not read enough classics in my life. That is just one area that I really lack in, that and probably poetry. I do need to get some more poetry into my life, but for now I am going to start with classics, and I found a copy of Anna Karenina for only $1, so I was really excited about that. Then I also found a copy of Dracula by Bram Stoker for only $1, and I will probably read this during the month of October. It just seems kind of like the perfect month to read that. The next book I have read when I was a lot younger, but I definitely want to reread, and that is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This book is in perfect condition. It looks like it was never even read, never even cracked, so I was really excited to find that. And then this book I thought was just very interesting, and that is The Norse Myths, and I got this for $2. It comes in this little box. This book is just gorgeous. Trying to see, there are some illustrations in it. So I was just excited. I am very interested in mythology, all kinds of mythology. So I thought this would be a perfect addition to my shelf, and eventually I will get to reading it. Now the next book in my book haul is another Stephen King book, but this one has a little bit of an interesting story. I had picked up what I thought was a copy of this book a few weeks ago. I think it was maybe even in one of my last couple of book hauls that I put up on the channel. And someone commented and said, "Oh, is that the copy with the really beautiful artwork on the hardcover?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'll go check." So one night, I think I was up at like 2 a.m. and I had seen the comment, so I was like, "Oh, I'm up already. I'm not going back to sleep now." I went downstairs to go look, and lo and behold, inside the dust jacket, it was not Lacey's Story. It was a copy of The Last Symbol by Dan Brown. So I was kind of devastated because I thought I had gotten this beautiful copy of Lacey's Story, though it never occurred to me to look inside the actual dust jacket. I get a lot of my books from Goodwill, and I've never really encountered that before. Now I am checking. You better believe I'm checking. So I actually went on Amazon and I ordered another copy because I already felt like I had it in my collection and I needed it. So I ordered a used copy from Amazon. So I did. I got another copy of Lacey's Story. This time, let me take the dust jacket off. This time with the right cover. So I am excited to have this so I can reread it. And I'm so thankful that that person actually commented on my video, because if they had not commented, I don't know how long it would have been until I had reread Lacey's Story and figured that out. So thank you for whoever did that. I can't remember who it was, but I am so excited to now own the correct version of this book. The next group of books that I'm going to share with you are some children's classics that I decided to pick up when I saw them. Let us start with James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. I've actually been collecting a lot of his books. I think I own Matilda, the BFG, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So James and the Giant Peach will be a nice addition, and I paid $1 for this one. I also found another James and the Giant Peach and I found another Roald Dahl book, and that was Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, and I paid $1 for this one as well. So now I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, so I can read them back to back. I also found a copy, and I was dying for a copy of this, of Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. I love the Disney version of Mary Poppins. So I was super excited to find this, but I also love the other Disney movie, Saving Mr. Banks, which is kind of loosely based on what happened when they were trying to secure the rights for the movie. I just fell in love with that movie as well. And I was like, well, I need to read the original book. All this talk about the book, and I need to read the original. And I just happened to find this at my local Goodwill for $2, and it's in great condition. So I can't wait to read that. I also, a few weeks ago, bought The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And then when I was at Goodwill for 50 cents, I saw The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Again, perfect condition book, and it was half price because it was a blue sticker week. So for 50 cents, how could I go wrong? And then I found, and I believe this book was $2.99 at my local Savers, and that was Charlotte's Web by E.B. White and pictures by Garth Williams. I love Charlotte's Web. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. And here is the actual book. So this will be put right into my rotation of trying to read one children's classic a month. And then this book I was really excited for because when I was a child, I loved this TV show. And that was Pippi Longstockings by Astrid Lindgren, illustrated by Michael Chesworth. I loved Pippi Longstockings, the TV show. I don't know if any of you remember it. I mean, that's going back quite a ways. My grandmother used to call me Pippi because I would watch it so much. She loved it, I loved it. It was just something that we bonded over. And finding this was like finding a piece of my grandmother because she passed away a few years ago. And I was just so excited to see this book there. And I was like, this has to be mine. I have to own this. And I'm definitely going to put this into my children's classic reading for the month. So can't wait. Now the last group of books are just books that caught my eye as I was browsing. One of them is The Lace Reader by Brunonia Barry. This just sounds like a really interesting read. It says Towner Whitney, the self-confessed unreliable narrator, hails from the family of Salem women who can read the future in the patterns in lace and who have guarded a history of secrets going back generations. Now the disappearance of two women is bringing Towner back home to Salem and is bringing to light the shocking truth about the death of her twin sister. So it just sounds like a really, fun, suspenseful kind of read, and it was a blue sticker, so it was only 50 cents. As you can see, the original price they had on here was $9.36. The next book I've heard a lot of things about on BookTube, so I just happened to catch the name of it on the spine and was like, oh, I need to grab that. So that is Room by Emma Donoghue, and I paid $1, though it has the sticker residue that I need to try and get off because I really hate stickers on the front of books. I really wish they would stop doing that and only put them on the back. But however, really excited to read that one. Also, I picked up The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. I've read Middlesex by him. I never read The Virgin Suicides. I really enjoyed Middlesex, so I'm excited to read this. And I paid, let's see, I think it says $1. So that's exciting. The next book I found was one that was a Alice in Wonderland sort of, based on retelling sort of book. I don't know exactly what it's about, but that's The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Bedore. I paid $2. It was a hardcover, so it's really a beautiful cover, though. I actually really like this color. I don't know how good it'll be. I don't know really anything about it. All I know is if it had to do with Alice in Wonderland, I needed to pick it up because I am planning on reading, I think, Alice in Wonderland this month in September as my children's classic, and it'll be great to just have sort of another retelling because I did that with Peter Pan. I think I read Peter Pan and then I read Unhooked, which was a YA novel based around the Peter Pan world. So it'll just be exciting to have this. And then the last book I actually ordered from Amazon, and another one is coming on Tuesday, but I just decided to put them, tell you about them both in this haul video since I won't hopefully be making another one for another week or two at least. I need to stay out of the thrift stores. But that is Survivor by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know how to say his last name. I've heard Palahniuk, or I've heard Palahniuk. If anyone knows how to actually pronounce it, please let me know down below. But I picked up Survivor, and I have Fight Club actually coming, like I said, on Tuesday. And Peter over at Peter Likes Books is planning on, he's actually doing like a read along of all of his books. So the first 2 weeks in September is Fight Club. The second 2 weeks I believe will be Survivor. I'm not sure what comes after in October. I will be getting those books probably later in the month. But I'm really excited to, you know, take part in that and to read them, because I have never read a book by him at all. A couple of weeks ago in one of my other hauls I showed you, I think I got Lullaby and Invisible Monsters, and I've gotten Haunted also by him. So I'm kind of collecting them so I don't have to spend as much. I had to order these, you know, brand new off of Amazon, but when I see them at my local thrift stores, I am picking them up. Anyway, those are all the books that I bought just this week. I'm going way overboard with buying books, but you know what? You can't go wrong when they're like $1, 50 cents, $2. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to pick up the books when they're that price? But anyway, hopefully I will not be making another haul video till later in the month. I'm hoping to only do like maybe 2 haul videos a month instead of, you know, 3 or 4. I need to kind of pare down, and hopefully I will. But I really enjoy shopping for them, as I know all of you must do too. So can't help it. I love it. As always, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more books videos, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a great week and happy reading.